Hello again, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, How to Tune Out the Noise in Your Chemical Research. I'm going to go ahead and take us through our housekeeping while we let people continue to join in. So most of you should be able to hear us through the speakers in your computer, but if you cannot, I hope that you can be driving your attention to this phone number and access code, because if you can't hear me, you can't hear my direction. But anyway, or if you feel like you don't have a good connection for hearing the presentation, go ahead and dial in using your phone. We will be monitoring the chat panel for any questions. Everyone is muted on this webinar just to respect everybody's time. But we will be paying attention to the chat and we'll address chat questions at the end. And please also know that anybody who registered for this webinar will receive the recording tomorrow. So you can have that as reference, take any notes from the slides, and or share with a colleague. With that, I'm going to pass this over. I'm going to, just from the webinar land, I'm going to make Matt the presenter, so and then he can take over on the presentation. So just give me 1 second. Okay, that looks like it worked. Matt, it's all yours.
Great. Thank you very much, Anne-Marie. A big welcome to everyone, and thank you for your time today. We're scheduled to run for about 15 minutes, so we plan on being done on as promised. Our agenda today consists of 5 items. In Who is ToxPlanet, I will cover who we are, what we do, and then I will tell you a little bit about myself. In What is MyExpert, I will describe MyExpert, and then we will then segue into a demonstration of MyExpert. I will show you how it works and how to configure your own profile. After the demo, we will cover the key points you will want to remember about MyExpert, and then we will open up the meeting for Q&A. So who is ToxPlanet? We are more or less a 13-year-old company. I say that because we started in 2003, sold ourselves in 2010, and bought ourselves back in 2015. So we've been in continuous operations for 13 years, but with different owners. We are technically headquartered in the Charlotte area, but we are a virtual company with employees in Massachusetts, Colorado, North Carolina, Japan, and India. You can see the types of professionals that we serve, but perhaps a better overall description would be the professionals responsible for managing the impact of chemicals on humans, the workplace, and the environment. We aggregate, normalize, and index millions of documents on chemical hazards and toxicology. Our proprietary index saves researchers and their employers a significant amount of time and money. And finally, simply put, we deliver content users expect to find and delight users with content they did not even know existed. I'm Matt Timberlake, founder of ToxPlanet and its predecessor, Expert Publishing. I've been in the content industry for nearly 35 years, with 25 of those years in the toxicology space. I landed in this industry by chance, started my own business because I wanted to be more responsive to customer needs, and have never looked back. Today's topic is MyExpert. MyExpert is a personalization feature that allows you to filter results and view only the collections and lists you want to see. As it is, our system is easy and fast to use, but imagine a feature that is even more efficient. ToxPlanet has 11 products, millions of documents, over 230 databases, and 660 lists. It is unlikely that one of our users needs to access all of that different content. Our experience indicates that users have their go-to content that they consistently use while occasionally accessing other content. Think of ToxPlanet as DirecTV or Sky TV. With DirecTV, I have access to over 500 channels. The reality is that I watch 10 to 12 channels consistently and other channels on a periodic basis. DirecTV has a favorites feature that puts all my channels in one place while still giving me access to all of the other channels. I guess you can think of MyExpert as a way to set your favorites. I will now show you how MyExpert works. We have several non-users on the call, so I will start by running a simple expert index search to illustrate how the system works. I will use benzene, not to impress you with how much content we have on benzene, but because it really shows the power of the system. So you'd enter the chemical you're looking for, click submit. If you can imagine, we have an index with millions of entries. This takes you to the very first entry of benzene in the index. It allows you to pick the chemical you're looking for. So we click on benzene, and it brings us back to what we call our chemical identity page, which allows you the opportunity to confirm that this is in fact the chemical you were looking for. So you could have gotten to the screen using the name of the chemical, the CAS number, or any of these synonyms. All of these synonyms would have brought you to the same place. On the top of our screen, we have what we call our product tabs. Each one of these tabs is a different product containing a different set of information. Let's take a look at MyExpert. I'll open MyExpert, and what we have is 283 documents about benzene. And all of these nodes or collections have underlying documents in them. So say, for example, I'm interested in looking at HSDB. I can scroll down to HSDB, click on HSDB, and then open the benzene document. The document opens in a new tab, and now we have the full text of the HSDB document from the National Library of Medicine. We have navigation available as well, so you can wander around in the document as you need. To return to your search results, you would simply go back to ToxPlanet and continue the navigation at this point. If you wanted to see a PDF document that works the same way, we can go to Toxicology Profiles of Benzene from ATSDR, click on it, and here comes the PDF. Documents that you've opened remain open in their various tabs, and you can always go back to the ToxPlanet tab. So here are our results. If we go to MyExpert, we have 7 documents. If we go to the List Expert, we have 345 documents. So sometimes when you're doing a search, the amount of search results is a little overwhelming and perhaps not relevant. And so the solution to that is what we call MyExpert, which is this tab over here. Let me click on MyExpert. It's not currently set up, so I'll walk you through how it works. The system does not recognize me, and so what I need to do is go to Options, Settings, MyExpert, and click on this will take us through the installation process. If you've never set up a profile, you can go to I am a new MyExpert user and would like to set up my preferences now. You would click on that, and this allows you to register. This is where you would enter your email address. And why an email address? It's unique and everyone has one, and it's simple to remember. We will not use your email for anything other than verifying who you are when you're trying to use MyExpert. Since I've previously registered, I need to go back to the screen and retrieve my settings. And now I have an opportunity to set MyExpert the way I want it to be set up. So again, we have all the different products that are available. And say I'm working on a carcinogenicity project, and I want to limit my searches to those collections I know contain the information I want. So we can start with CCRIS, we can scroll down, we can pick up the carcinogenic potency database, we can pick, let's see, IRIS, IARC, ITER, the MAC collection, the NTP reports, and even RTEX. And let's say for lists, we want to look for, say, the IRIS, well, here we go, the CPDB hits. You scroll down further, we can pick up the IRIS. We'll get there. Again, there's 660 lists here that you can pick from. So we can pick the IARC lists, then all of the IRIS lists, which, I'm sorry, we're under EPA, but you can mark them all you want. We're also interested in perhaps seeing the CNL inventory, and so we have that turned on, and then we want to also see the REACH registrations, and we can turn that on, and then we can click Save Settings. And so now I've created a subscription within a subscription so I can get just the content I want. Let's go back and do a search, most recent search on benzene. We got the same results again, but this time I can go to MyExpert, and under MyExpert I have just the information that I want. For example, in ChemExpert, here are the databases that I picked to be displayed. Here's the list that I wanted displayed, REACH, and then of course CNL inventory. So this is a real simple way to increase the efficiency of your searching and always be able to find the content that you want while still having access to all the content that remains that's visible in all the other tabs. So some key takeaways right here. As you saw, it's very easy to set up and modify. You can use it on any computer. So if you're traveling or don't have access to your computer, you can simply retrieve your settings. Settings can be shared with others if you're working on the same projects, or if you want someone doing literature searching on specific collections. Perhaps best of all, like my DirecTV example, you will have access to the full results. You will always have access to the full results, which leaves the opportunity to discover content you had no idea existed. So it's the best of both worlds. At this point, I'd like to turn it back over to Anne-Marie to see if there are any questions.
Okay, go ahead and make me the presenter. I have to get my page, my right page up though. Okay, have you made me the presenter? Yes, you have. Okay.
I'm working on it.
Oh, okay. So top right, big blue circle button. Well, guys, you know what? While we're, thank you. It looks like I've got it. While we're waiting a second, if you know how to use the show of hands, which is, there's a little sidebar that is adjacent to the box for GoToMeeting. Can you just give us a show of hands if you feel like, you know, this was what you were expecting, this information, like it answered your questions? Good. We're starting to see some hands go up. Yay! Lots of hands. Feel free, if it's not a question, to use the chat to give us some feedback about how we might have answered your question or what you thought you were going to hear from us. But as I go and look at the chat to see any questions, I do have one from Lizzie Aldridge. She's asking if you can set up more than one MyExpert.
That's a good question, Anne-Marie. At this point, you can only set up one MyExpert at a time.
Okay. All right. Is it when you say at this time, are there plans for the future?
Well, people have asked, in the past, people have asked for to be able to set up multiple MyExperts depending on their projects that they're working on or the tasks that they're working on. And so that's certainly something we're considering in the future, but it's certainly not something that's going to appear in the near future.
Got it. Okay, so it's on your roadmap. Well, I think, Matt, that you were very clear and provided the information because we got a lot of show of hands and we also don't have any other questions. So at that
Okay.
rate, we can go to, just really quickly, we wanted to make an offer for our folks who have taken the time out of their day to join us. And that offer is, we typically offer a 15-day free trial, and we highly recommend that you do that because we've just added a whole lot of literature. Can you remind me, Matt, of the number?
We have added approximately 35 new databases this year since March, primarily to the ChemExpert collection, but we've also added some to ReproExpert and to DrugExpert.
So if you're somebody who hasn't gone all the way with ToxPlanet, and you've been considering a 15-day trial, it should be even more appealing now because they've added so much literature. But in addition to that, we'll give you one-on-one help setting up MyExpert so that if you have any, so there's no struggles with doing it, make it nice and easy for you. So the way to take advantage of that offer is to just contact us at sales@toxplanet.com and just make reference to the MyExpert setup from today's webinar. With that, I think, let me just double check the question box if nothing else came in. Nope, nothing else came in. I think that's everything, and just once again, thanks so much for joining us. Take care, everybody. Bye, Matt.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.